Hey man, thanks for having coffee with me today. I know you're really busy, but it's always good to take your time, stop and smell the flowers. Today, I wanted to ask you actually about something that one of our viewers poses a question. Industry 4.0, one of the biggest pillars is cloud and cloud computing. Okay, what does that mean for Edge? More specifically, is there a scenario where we utilize both Edge and cloud, or will cloud replace Edge? And more interestingly than forecasting, what are the benefits of each option for your regular manufacturer?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in any case, we work with industrial data, so it's always huge amount of data to treat. So when you need to build some models, some algorithms, build some intelligence or explore your data, it's always recommended to work in the cloud because there we have a full capacity of resources scaling and a lot of power of calculation. So it really fastens the way you create your analytics and you develop your applications. However, the cloud itself needs internet connectivity. So to be able to apply what you develop on your actual live data, you need to have a continuous internet connection. And for most factories or remote sites of productions, it's not always the case. To be sure, they have open 100% of the time connection, and also the bandwidth to treat all the data that is needed for stream applications. So then it also depends on this factor and what you want to do with the applications that you build. So if you build some kind of solutions that is there for informing people or just tracking some specific results or tracking metrics, not acting directly on the process, cloud execution, if the bandwidth allows and the connection allows, is still sufficient because you can treat your data that is coming there and you just visualize the response and you have access with the cloud access to everyone in your company to all of these results. But once you want to interact with your process, so if you need to take some decisions, or if you even need to automate directly aligned with the applications that you create, then it's better to reproduce the application that you build in the cloud on a device which is called Edge, as you say, that is hosted locally on premise in the plant. This guarantees that the calculation block is still there and always available, even if you lose internet connection. So what happens is you have data streaming to the machines, your application is there, so it's ingesting this data, executing the model and all the calculations that can be useful, and return the results in the local environment, so people can also access and view this, and you can send directly back to the machines without any issues also with security, because you are inside the same network, so it's allowed to interact back with the machines.
Okay, good, cool. Let's talk about 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Let's assume a scenario where connectivity is not a problem, internet is not a problem. We have, Starlink and everything. However remote you are, we're looking in the future where everyone has access to good internet. What then? Are we still looking at an optimal kind of solution, Edge cloud, or are we going to be moving more towards cloud in that case, do you think?
I guess it will evolve to decentralize, so in the cloud, depending on how the industry sector evolves with it as well. Because it's also a lot of change management to do with all the people working in such a project and infrastructure that you need to drive. So 20 years, 30 years it's I think possible in an optimistic way. But in the meantime, we have a transition phase where both will be needed. And still maybe afterwards for some, even if it's fast, it's getting access all of the time. In some application, you will still need to have a local execution. Think about your car that would be driven automatically, based on some cameras that register the traffic. It's the same. You still have to be really fast in the way you respond to what is observed in the environment. So even if, I don't know, I cannot imagine what will be the speed and the things of the future, but in some of these cases, you will need really direct and as fast as possible information from the machines.
Gotcha.
And that you will still, again, I don't know, but you might still have some small delays that might make it impossible to call something in the cloud.
Understood. And last but not least, I think a lot of the people I talk to in the manufacturing industry, which have no cloud policy, or so they say, their biggest concern is cybersecurity. What can you tell us in your experience working with clients that use cloud to kind of, I suppose, make us feel safer?
Yeah, so indeed the cloud is a bit something that is not well known, some kind of magical box where you just drop everything and everyone can access, which is not exactly the case. So everything is secured from the moment that you start to collect and ingest your data in the cloud. It's restricted to specific set of users, of people that can access, that have access to this, through increasing permissions and authentication methods. So like you have double authentication methods, it's standard now.
It's annoying, but
it's guaranteeing this safety of using cloud applications, and it's working quite well. How many times do you receive a Facebook message that says we try to reset your
way too many? Password. It's a little bit scary.
But it's
actually just recently.
Yeah, and then it's still guaranteeing the safety. For the cloud, it's a bit the same. So everyone has his own accesses and own permissions on different subsystems. And it's really complicated to get inside of this.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks, Jeremy. I know you got to go back to work, and so do I. But I also want to thank our viewers. If you have any questions that you want us to discuss, either within our team at Wizata, with our experience working with clients, Industry 4.0, or you want to join us, feel free. We're always happy to have you. And it's not that scary, is it, Jeremy?
Perfectly fine. Had a good time.
All right.
Thank you, Philippe.
No problem. Ciao.
Ciao.